Alright, this is Saturday, so I'm out here. It's 5:05 in the morning, and I gotta go up and finish out this on the roof, and then I could do the inside. But once I do that, I gotta insulate and start doing the finishing touches. I'm stuffed up bad. It's dreary out there this morning, damp, rainy, but work's work, gotta work. Got very expensive carpet coming in here. It's not exactly the one I wanted, but it's the perfect size. They custom cut it, so I don't have to worry about doing any of that crap. $374 plus tax. That's not too bad. And that means delivery as well, so I don't have to worry about that. Jesus. All right. Then I gotta make a space here for a window, which is definitely gonna go right here. This is gonna be a nice window. I'm gonna have to cut this down. And over here, I decided to put a window right there. It has to be formatted the same height, same design as that. This is already marked out for a furnace duct. And over there, I'm going to keep the original design. I'm going to put a sink here. It's going to be a sink, cabinet, everything. Here is going to be a shower. That's still a work in progress. I got to figure out where I want to put the plumbing, because if I go down through, it's going to cause a problem, because if they move it, they may not have a septic system they can put it directly in. But we'll figure that out as we go along. There is going to be an addition over here. So from this stud to about midpoint here, which is 3.5 studs, we're going to make an addition that goes out 4 feet. It's going to be 4 feet wide, 4 feet deep, and obviously the height. That's going to be the bathroom. There's going to be a single porcelain toilet. Not porcelain, but biodegradable, which means it's hard plastic. But there's going to be a vanity sink. That's obviously something you want in the bathroom, and all the amenities that go with it. So that's going to slow progress down a couple days, but that's no big deal. I can knock that out in 2 days. Got the sliding glass door ordered. It's going to be here Monday morning or Tuesday morning, I'm not sure which. The stained glass that's going to go from the top to the bottom out to about here, which is approximately 14 inches on both sides. That's being custom made. There's a craftsman that specializes in that, and he's gonna have that done hopefully by Thursday. He said Friday afternoon at the latest, so that's not a problem. We're gonna make a small set of steps into what's called a small patio that's going to extend out 3.5 feet So 42 inches out. Lighting and wiring, that's going to be the last project before we do the internal walls. But I'm not going to do standard insulation. I'm going to do spray foam. I don't know if I mentioned that before or not. But before I do the spray foam, we're going to use waterproof caulking. We're going to caulk all of these on both sides so that it's absolute airtight. And that'll help soundproof it, airtight. The only problem that I found that I didn't notice before, and I'm kind of angry at myself, is the, let's see if I can show you one. Okay, I'll zoom in on it so you can see it. See that space right there? Anytime anything like that, you do not want spaces like that. I mean, it's not going to do any harm, but when you have spaces like that, you have potential for settling and movement when there's a lot of snow up there, and that's the number one cause for a roof collapse. So I'm going to put braces on that, obviously, but that's not the point. The point is, anybody watching this and you're doing rafters and roofing, make sure you're butted tight, because it's very important. You want a lot of stability up there. I'm not trying to give carpentry lessons here, but I just want to point out the obvious, that you want to be very careful when you do these things. Always leave room for movement, and I'm going to be very precise on this, on the walls, especially on the floors, on the sideboarding. A lot of people don't realize, even if your wood is kiln dried, or you may have 12, 14, 16% moisture, over time, wood is going to swell and shift. Wood moves, and you want to make sure that you have a 32nd of an inch or a 64th of an inch leadway, so when it does shift, you don't get what's called splintering, cracking, popping. It's not that hard to get, and I'm going to show you an example. Right here, this is spaced out to be an 1/8 inch all the way through, and over here an 1/8 inch all the way along. You always want to make sure you get that spacing, because that spacing is very important. And on your back wall, when you're doing your 16-ounce center studs, you may have to do this, and that's not a problem as long as it doesn't exceed 1.25 inches. If it exceeds 1.25 inches, what's going to happen over time is this is going to draw moisture from each other, and it's going to either push the wood together or push it out. It depends on which direction the concave is. Concave is when you got a piece of wood that's flat, you'll see a bolt either like this or like this. That's concaving. You want to make sure that you pay attention to that. I was going to use this one, but I realized that it has a 9-degree warp, which is starting from this knot going down. It's a 9-degree bend, a warp that goes like that. That is not something you want. And here's a good example. See that little hole right there? That's because the very top was warped in, and I didn't notice that. So that's another mistake I've made. Sorry, folks. I'm just stuffed up. Been for a couple days. Anyways, we're going to get this finished, and then we're going to start another project, which is 2.5 the size of this. So it's actually going to be basically a small home, not a tiny home, a small home. I gotta do something with that BMW. I put it on the market for $17,000. I've got 9 different offers, and the highest offer so far is $14,500, and that's not going to cut it. It's a $58,000 vehicle. It's just a couple of years old. It's got less than 11,000 miles on it, and I'm not selling it for less than $17,000. So. The former Cruiser, which is the white one, the white Ford, that one we're gonna see what we can do. Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4, that was down back. It's been sitting there for a while. It has some surface rust on the bottom. The frame is showing signs of rust, so I'm either gonna donate that to some college kids who can spend the time fix it up, or I'll just put it on the side of the road with a sign, $2,500 or best offer. The Ford Mustang, which is down here, is a project car. It's in very bad shape, but have a nice police interceptor motor that's going to go in it. And that means we're going to have to cut the firewall, push that back approximately 4 inches, shorten up the drive shaft, tighten down on new U-joints, and redo the internals, because we leave the windows down because it was 3 years ago, from what I understand, it got under the extreme hot sun, and it caused a lot of pressure in there, which loosened up the seals, and that window over there broke. It actually was so much heat it shattered the window. Had a guy come down a couple nights ago. We caught him. We got cameras on the trees and in the barn and everywhere around here. He tried to hook onto it to pull it out, so I cable strapped it down. So, anyways, the Toyota over here, I'm donating that to Down East Toyota. They can refurbish it and see what they can do with it. All of this pile here has got to go. That was supposed to be gone a week ago, a little over a week ago. And the reason being is because I've seen a lot of chipmunks under there. And actually, as a matter of fact, I filmed a small chipmunk yesterday. It was sitting up there. But it's not the chipmunks that bother me. They're relatively harmless unless they chew on the wiring and stuff. But it's possible rats, skunks, whatever, that could burrow inside there, and it could cause a problem. That little portable homemade trailer there, that's going to be junked. I mean, it's waterproof and all that, but unless you're hauling pots and pans and toilet paper, it's pretty much useless. I had to load up this trailer yesterday. We got a lot of supplies that we're going to start building an actual log cabin. This is a log cabin that's made out of fresh timber, fresh logs. The guy at the mill is going to mill them out to the right sizes. So we got what we need. So we're going to do the foundation, which basically is this particular load. And as you can see, this is going to be the internal for the fireplace. This is All right, and that needs a new belt. This trailer here needs some work. I gotta weld. Gotta cut that out and weld. Cut that out and weld. Cut that out and weld. Jesus Christ. The front nose tine is bent. And over here, that's gonna be done. This is gone, so I don't dare to put any load in it. This is literally gone. Crying almighties. It's odd that I came into a huge amount of money. Now I'm putting out even more. But here's the thing. I mean, these contracts are pulling in megabucks. So I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is safety for the workers. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit nobody. I mean, everybody that I know would probably put crap in that and haul it around all day long, and not me. You got a heavy load of beams or something in there, or concrete blocks, and one of those rails break off and hit a car and kill a kid, I'm all set. No offense, folks, but I wouldn't live with myself if I knew that I hurt a kid like that. I'm all set. I know I'm rambling. I'm fucking tired. I haven't even gone to sleep last night. Monique and I got into a fucking argument. Said I didn't wake her up. Well, I specifically remember knocking on the door and ringing the fucking doorbell. But anyways, found a kid's chair, a little kid's chair that I'm gonna fix up and take down the Salvation Army or someplace where they can give that to a kid. I don't want it to be sold. I want it to be given to them. This toolbox and that's going to be donated. And next week, when it gets warmer and dries out, I'm going to have to come down here and have the boys and the crew come in and finish doing this. This is going to be one hell of a project because we got a lot of concrete that's going to come in here. And I don't know if it's going to cure in time. Once that's done, we tear the face of this barn off and replace it with hardwood. And that's right, folks, hardwood. We're going to do solid oak. And then we're going to go back, do the same thing with that. And then on this side and on that side. Smile for the camera. Smile for the camera. And then step in front of the motion sensing light. Oh yeah, I forgot. Just to be silly. Smile for the camera. I got cameras all over this place. There's 17 cameras. Correction, 16. I broke one yesterday. Alright, folks. Keeping it under 20 minutes. Enough rambling, enough raving. Oh yeah, last thing on my mind before I shut the camera off. This friggin' crap. It's gotta go. Gotta go. California king bed. Old-fashioned beds. Phono player. Old-fashioned. All gotta go. Alright, folks. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And always remember, and I say this every single time, and I mean it, always remember, if you help somebody, don't expect a thank you in return. Just pay it forward. Let them be happy.